Hello, web designers. Today we're gonna start talking about chapter 3, uh, opening the existing website for chapter 3, tutorial 3, tutorial folder, and trying to add pictures, also do some of the formattings necessary for the page, and hopefully we'll enjoy that exercise. The first thing we need to do is go to site, open site, then I'm gonna browse. I'm gonna go to my data files, students data files, go to tutorial 3, data files, tutorial folder, and click open. Then click open. Now, I've had seen some issues in the past, and this is why one of the things that I don't like about those the textbook and the data files are providing. If you look at your folder list, has all your folders, and that's completely inappropriate. We can fix this, but I'm not going to show you how because it's going to take a while to do this. You will not have that problem if you're creating a folder from scratch. But if you're opening the existing folders, especially tutorial 3 to all the way to tutorial 8, we're going to have this problem. And you want to be careful how you move images from one folder to another without interrupting the link, because remember, you're only gonna send me the folder, not the entire tutorial 3 folder. So what I'm saying is you only want to send me the tutorial folder, the review folder, and one of the case problems. So at this time I'm gonna go into my tutorial folder, and there's another inappropriate thing here is all the images are in a root folder, which is just completely inappropriate. So that's something I'm gonna be doing. You don't have to do this, but just to organize my files in my root folder, I have to do the following. So I'm gonna right click on this tutorial folder, then go new and folder. And guess what kind of folder I'm gonna create? I'm gonna create the folder called images, and the reason why I want to have all my images in this particular root folder. All I'm gonna do is just drag and drop the images into this folder. I can do it at once if you want to, or just do it one at a time. That's also fine. So in my images folder, as you see, I have all my files for the images, and some of them are PNG and the others are JPEG. So let's now open lake.html. So as you notice, that lake.html is somewhat formatted. We have some of the headings, bullets, but we cannot do quite a bit more. So let's just begin. We want to make sure that the tag and CSS properties are active. So I'm going to go to panel and make sure those two are checked. Okay, if they're not checked, just please check them. So the next things I'm going to do, I'm going to rename the file to Lake New and change the page title to Hilton Lake Landscape Design. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to type new in here, change title. I'm going to type Hilton Lake Landscape Design. Then click OK and save. We're going to insert an image on the top of the page. So I'm going to click front of the design and hit enter. So now I have a new paragraph, but it's not really a paragraph, it's a heading 3. So I'm going to change this heading 3 to a paragraph. So to change the heading 3 to a paragraph, simply select the tag, then go to heading 3 list and select just the paragraph. And Control S to save. Now, I want to deselect the paragraph. Otherwise, if I'm going to insert an image in there, it's going to replace the paragraph and I cannot align it. So to prevent this from happening, I'm going to click inside this paragraph. There are multiple ways to insert images into your page. The fastest way is drag and drop, and we will do this quite a bit. But traditionally, we can go insert picture, Make sure you are inside the paragraph. Go insert picture from a file, and you search for the file this way. Or you can click on this image icon right here and give you the same exact thing. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna drag and drop. The easiest way to insert a picture, well, just for our purposes, is I'm gonna drag and drop. So I'm gonna drag the lake local PNG, which is right here, and simply left click on it, keep your finger down, and drag and drop. So this is something you need to be aware of. Alternate text. Every picture that you add to your page it needs to have an alternate text. So why do we need an alternate text? Well, the visual impaired people will not be able to read the picture, but they can read the content or the description of that picture. Now, alternate text gonna give you a brief description of the picture, but if you have longer description, then we have a text file on your somewhere on your root folder, and we can browse a link to that text file. But otherwise, we're gonna maintain that simple. We're gonna type in here, Hilton Lake. I'm sorry, Hilton Lake logo image. Then click OK. Control S to save. And I'm going to say F12 to start see what we're doing. So in order to start fixing that stuff, let me increase the size of this screen a little bit because it's maybe a little too small. Here we go. Now, it would be nice to actually center the page. As you notice, by default, it's left aligned. If I do not have the image in the paragraph, I will not be able to center it. Let me repeat that again. If I not have the image inside the paragraph, I will not be able to center it. When you center the image, you do not select the image because you will not be able to center it. I want to be outside the image or select the paragraph, then center. This is the best way to center the image. Control S to save. Go back to the browser and refresh and see if we did a good job, and we sure did. Back to the expression web. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add image and align the images and resize them and sometimes crop them. Let's start doing that. So I'm gonna replace my cursor at front of the design for beauty in H3. I'm gonna drag and drop garden JPG. I'm gonna add alternate text image of garden plants. I know I cap a lot. That's okay. You don't have to do that. Then click OK. Control S to save. And if I go to my browser and refresh, and we have the new image in there. As you notice, we have an issue here. It's not aligned the way we want to. So then the next thing I'm gonna be doing is align it to the right, and also we have what we call bounding box, actually a margin around the picture that allow the picture has a space between the content and the picture itself. And furthermore, how we can resize it. There are multiple ways of resizing it. There's the proper way and the easy way, but the easy way doesn't always work as we want them to. But let's begin. So we're gonna go to Expression Web. I can right click, go to the picture properties, or I can double click on a picture to go to the properties. So this is the same way. So in the picture properties dialog box, we have where the picture source is. I can change the picture file type if you are interested to, like we talked about that earlier. The multiple type, I can change it to GIF, PNG, or PNG24. We did that in the chapter 3A lesson. Or I can edit and select another picture instead of that garden JPG. In here, I already have the alternate text. I can change the alternate text, or I can add the long description file. What hyperlink we will not use? We can use this as a hyperlink, but we're not going to be doing that. It's going to be a proper way to do this, actually, to link this image, to link an image to a file or a website. But target frame is allow to the new page, if you're linking this, how it's going to be open. And we will definitely cover this in the later chapters. In the appearance tab, now this is done. That's mean that the image is in line with text. I can left align it, and you can see the text gonna be wrapping on the right side of the image, or I can right align it, and I see the text is wrapped around the left. If it's been aligned, then I can tell how is that image gonna be aligned with the content. Now, if you can leave it like this, and I say baseline as it is right now, default, or I can say middle, so that the text will be right in the middle of that image. But something, if you want to experiment with, please do. It's really interesting. For my purpose, by default, your border thickness should be 0, because if you add links, then your border will become blue in the later, and we'll explain that to you later on. So I would rather to keep them the border 0 unless I was told otherwise. At this time, I'm gonna make the alignment right. Here, if you want to add the space between the image and the content around it, in this case text, I can resize the image here, but we want to make sure to keep the aspect ratio, otherwise you're gonna have a funny picture. Let's just click OK for now and see what we have. I'm going to click OK. I can see the content is wrapped around it. I'm going to save it. It's usually better to see it in the browser because it sometimes shows a little bit more problems. Now, the space in here is fine, but if you go to any, like if I resize it a little bit, you can see now this word is too close to the picture. So I need to fix that margin around the image. To do this, I'm going to go back to the expression web, double click the picture to go to the property, go to appearance tab, and start changing a few things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add borders 6 as the books instructed me to do. Then I'm going to add horizontal margin 12 and vertical margin 6. And click OK, and you can see there are spaces now is added between the content of the text and the image. Control S to save. If I go to my browser and refresh, and you can see now there are more spaces between the text and the image. And there are more ways actually to do this, and we will cover that shortly. The books also instructed us to actually move this picture to another paragraph. Either I can either Control X to cut, then Control V to paste, or I can just drag and drop. So where is the location for the image right now? It's located in front of the design. Please remember this. If you locate it somewhere in here, so that sometimes the content will go around it on the top. So if you want to make sure how it's positioned into your page layout. Otherwise, you'll have some issues. So I'm going to drag and drop this image right here, front of the design for savings, and because I want it to be in this area right here. So to do this, I'm going to left click, drag, and drop front of the design. And the alignments and the margin is still the same. We just move the picture from front of the first heading to the second heading. Control S to save. Go back to the browser, refresh to see what we've done. So we moved it from front of design for beauty to front of design for savings. So we're going to stop this particular session right now. Then we'll do session 3.2 alone. See you later.